All right, we're continuing here with what happened at the fall. You notice that when we see what happened at the fall, there's a whole lot more going on than meets the eye. And we said Satan in the fall was not about a piece of fruit. That was the cover. That was the hiddenness. He was hiding behind that when it was really trust issues that he was trying to get at. He was trying to usurp the trust that God had because he was instituting this system. Now, you really have to see the dynamics here. Why would he care whether or not humans believed him? He wanted to rule them, but he doesn't have the right of rulership. So how did he get it?
I was wondering without me, into believing in God. That was really
Well, remember, we were created to rule, have dominion in a trust relationship with God, and then we would do things in God's way, with His values.
So if we started to do it our own way.
Well, it's not our own way. It's the satanic system of performance for value, but we were given dominion, and that right was never stripped. Most people think that it was. It was, instead of dominion, which God gave us, dominion turned to domination. Look at how close those are. And if you misunderstand dominion, you think it's domination. A fallen view of God is domination. The next thing that he did was, he did that because he could export all of his destruction if he could get the humans to buy into his lie and govern the earth according to his system. And furthermore, he even hides it further, that he makes us believe that's the way God is. Think of how crafty and cunning that is. So, we would be operating in the world, believing the lie that he sold us, and it's causing all this destruction, and we believe that's God doing it. And so we say, why does God allow hunger? Why does God allow hunger? Is there any reason on the face of the earth why there should be hunger? Only one. Domination. Greed. Because you have more, you're worth more. Performance. Notice that it leads to destruction because it doesn't care what it destroys as long as it gets what it wants. And value, we think of value, you perform well. So if you're pretty, you're handsome, you're smart, you got money, you have power, you have influence, any of that is a commodity here that's sold on the marketplace. And it means you're more valuable. But what happens when you're a sports star and you lose your speed? Here's a bum, get rid of him.
Yeah.
If you're a singer and you can't sing anymore. If you're a looker and your looks are gone. All that happens because we grow old. We lose our steps. So when we grow old in this world, what happens to us? Well, they have warehouses that they go and take us. I call them kind of like a death row. Because you didn't do anything to get on that death row but grow old and sick. And then you die. Because they're not producers. We've used them up. So we see that the world, by the way, after the fall, everything that came into existence after the fall was man-made according to this. Domination and performance, which you take, this sounds goofy, but technology is a product of the satanic system of performance. What does technology do to our creation? We destroy our creation to build. Science
Satanic.
has outlawed God in the academic circles.
Yep.
And on and on we can go, but basically the root of it is this performance system, which you see everywhere, and nobody even seems to notice that it lies about God. Now we would say, if somebody said, you got to get out there and do all these works, you wouldn't believe that in order to get into heaven. But if we can shoehorn works in there and make it logical, we got you. You see, just living the way we were created and believing God and trusting in Him leads to a way to live, because that's life. Being in relationship with God, an intimate relationship. That's what He created us for, and I'm going to add what He redeemed us for. So, but Satan was even up to something more crafty. Now you look at how much is here already. But Satan got the allegiance of humanity. Most of us think they ate the apple, they got us whipping really bad, and then they had to live with the punishment. And we blame the punishment on God. God was dropping curses upon humanity. Isn't that what we think?
Yes.
That is not what was going on.
I wanted to say something. From where I come from, we voted at the division level, but the issue of women ordination. And according to this, that as you have explained it, this is the reason why.
Oh,
You gotta go there.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because we're a post-fall view of
Yeah.
God and women. That's a post-fall view.
Mm.
Who was above who at creation? I mean, that's a result of the fall. In fact, we see the relationships get all screwed up. But here's further what God was doing when He was describing to them. I believe that He wasn't cursing them. He was telling them the curse they would now live under and living under this system. That system of performance for value causes destruction. What happens to relationships in that system? They become usury. What happens? We lie, we cheat, we steal. To get performance, we hide. Remember what Jesus said? He said, He called people hypocrites. Religious performers.
Mm.
And He called them that because that's an actor. That's somebody who's pretending.
So are you saying then basically God was just making the best of this new system that they now have?
No, He was describing what they would live under, the tyranny that they would be living under, because now they believe the liar.
But so that's kind of what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay.
Okay, so they have a new, so to speak, they have a new leader. They have chosen a new leader, and God is, okay, this is how it's going to operate.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's more or less it. So the results of the fall, the not believing God, means we glommed onto Satan, and we didn't even know it because he changed hats and made himself look like he was trustworthy. And then the system that's here, that's destructive, he calls God responsible for it.
Mm-hmm. And the most dangerous thing that system came first in the family, because families is a solid thing of the society.
It devastated everything, but especially the family.
Exactly.
So, what I want to do is give you a list of results of the fall from Genesis 3 and 4.
Mm.
Now, this is some of the results. You can dig a lot more. But when we see, what's the first thing that humans do after they eat the fruit?
Fear.
They hide.
They fear. They were afraid.
They hide. Look at this. This is what we were created for. And they hide. Why?
Fear.
Where'd that fear come from?
Distrust.
They just realized.
Performance.
They have not done what they
You perform badly. What happens inside of you?
Shame.
Guilt, shame, blame. Look at all the things that resulted from this. So,
They became Russians after that.
watch out.
They become rational.
But we have to understand that they believe the liar, and the liar has not only lies, but lies within lies. So he set a time bomb off that wasn't meant to kill them right away. It was meant to be slow acting and cause maximum pain and destruction. Satan is a liar and the father of lies, and everything that he does is about lying and deceiving. So some of the results of the fall, the first thing we see is hiddenness comes in. When they were naked and unashamed. Blame. One of the most devastating things is fear of God. And then they have fear of each other. Why do you fear someone? You don't trust them because you're afraid they're going to hurt you. Fear is about perceived hurt. What else happens? Well, they have to cover themselves. Shame. All of a sudden, pain enters. Toil. Remember he said, you will tend the garden and it will be a delight. It was this purposeful, meaningful, and now that's looked at as toil and misery. When they started finger pointing, blame, accusations. Who gets accused?
God.
God.
Adam accuses God, doesn't he? Further, there is now a shift in value and equality. Now, according to the way we see things here, who's more important, humans or the creation?
Maybe the creation.
No, the way we see it in this world.
Now,
Just
The creation.
generally. No, we are.
Yes.
We see ourselves as the creation was given to us to destroy at our will so that we can, that's performance value. What we were created with
Okay, our
was
survival.
to see the processes of creation and value it because creation is our nurturer and we are its. It provides life, we provide it life. It's a mutual life-giving relationship. That's why I said everything in creation was created to be in relationship with everything else. And so you can't say who is more important.
Mm.
We were to serve creation. So in the fallen view, that means creation is more important. But God made us to be His representatives, and so we are at the top. And yet, in this world's view, we are at the bottom. And so the world tries to climb the ladder using what vehicle? Performance. So we see the shift in equality. Shame, pain, blame. Let me see. The list is quite long. Let me just grab it and write it up. Broken relationships of trust. Eternal death. Which is really what death is. No life. Right? What were we created for? God did not author this. There's a destroyer, an enemy who wants to see that. God created us for life. Sorrow. You know where it says, I will increase your sorrow?
Yeah.
Most people think that when they read it, that God's going to make pains more intense. What He's really saying is, I'm going to give you lots of children. What's going to happen to them? They're going to die. you're going to find your grief increasing as your children increase. By the way, I would might add, grief is part of this. That's what we experience here now.
Hmm.
Betrayal. Now they knew what betrayal was. Isn't this knowing good and evil a good thing here? Loss of innocence. Deception. Yeah, I'm going to put slash lies. Misery. Selfishness. You know what selfishness is really about? It's fear. And so we have to protect ourselves. Pride. By the way, pride is based on which system?